Hi, it's David here with Future Trading. I want to make this part three of the stay in your trade psychology. So this will be the last component of this information. Now, on yesterday, I gave you a price level, and I told you that when I give price levels, it's for that day that they need to close above, as well as the next day, them referencing that price level because it's significant. Okay, it's the intent for the buyers or sellers, for that matter, to prove that they have interest in taking price in that direction. So on yesterday, I gave you two videos, and I see that y'all have participated in viewing, of course, the first one, not so much on the second one. But again, this is information that's far more important than you just grabbing how to, count the bars. I see it here. You participated here, and not so much on the second one. And so, even though I can tell you how to count the bars, if you do not incorporate this element of how to do it, you're not going to get as much out of it as I would want you to. And so, if you want to count the bars, that's fine. If that's all you're looking for is some kind of price action setup, then you're not trying to trade professionally, in my opinion. This is the psychological part. This is the expectancy part. This is you not looking at the chart based on trend. You're looking at it based on linear, the time aspect. Every time you see a trend, you have to think in the terms of time. This is the past. That's the past that you're trading, and you're trying to make sure that your present lines up with your future. And so, just counting the bars is fine. And again, I put this information out because I want you guys to benefit from it. But here's the final piece to it all. Well, not the final. Of course, I can't give you everything that I know, but this is kind of the last element to how to trade it. Make sure you really take in the aspect of the time. Okay, this is the information that's not on the chart. You can't be just excited about the chart and being able to count the bars. I understand what it feels like to finally have some information that kind of makes sense to you. I know what that feels like. Trust me, that's why I put it online. But here's the other piece that if you really care about what I'm showing you, make sure that you draw your attention to this aspect. All right, so here yesterday, the first video, we were here at 12:39. All right, and of course the trend fell out, and then I came back and I told you that there were no trend here. There wasn't a trend here, and I haven't moved anything. All right, so now that price level, and I want to show you this. I came back with the other video, okay, and that was part two, the proof video, and that was at 646. All right, so at 646, price was here. And of course, after the video, I want to show you something. There's another big drop. Okay, so and that was after the video that I shot. All right, so again, watching, part one is fine, absolutely fine. You can do that, but remember there was a price level that I gave you, and if you've been watching any of my content for any time now, I've been telling you when I give price levels, it's important for that day that they close in relation to that price level. And whenever I give a price level, it's not really just for that day, it's for what's going to happen moving forward also. And so here, I want you to pay attention to something. By 12 o'clock, now I want you to see something here. We never made it back to that price level. We didn't make it back there. Okay. So there's the new day. Okay. Here's the new day here, the 23rd. Okay, there's the new day. They never got back to that price level. And I shot that video, the first one at 12, it was like 12:30, like 12:20 something Eastern Standard Time, and came back and told you what I had to say about 6:40 something that afternoon. And so now let's collectively take a look at the time element, the thing that I don't want y'all to, of course, don't shy away from this part of it because this is the piece that I really want you to grab. It's really important. This video won't be long because I'm not going to, emphasize something that you may not find of any use. But I definitely want to make sure that I say it because there may be the ones that's watching both videos that say, hey, I'm glad he showed me that. All right, so now here's that price level. And again, this is only to those that I train. I give you if it's going to be if it's going to be a bullish move in the market for a couple days, I'm going to give you a price. And this is something that I teach the people that I train. There is a price that these guys are serious about by the end of day. And so when you learn a trend, and you know that there's a price level that they need to close above by the end of the day, it changes how you interact with the information. Okay, but I did give the public enough to just, hey, if that's all you want, if that's all you want is of course a price action setup, and you just want to learn how to be consistent, That's free. I can give you that. That's nothing. I think that that's the least that a educator should be willing to offer people. Of course, if you want them to see the simplicity of your content, and so I'm not looking, of course, for anyone to purchase my information. I'm fine without that, but I want you to see the power of what's free, because what's free is what's tied into everything else that I know. And so it's meant to be traded as a whole. So I want you to see the power of what it is that's there. Like when I give you, hey, stay in your trade based on the trend, based on the time, I want you to know what that means. And so when I put this price level here, see the rest of it. Just see the rest of it, because now we're dealing with what I know that's based on days. We're not just talking 7 bars. It's bigger than that. So here's the range. And the range is something that I released to the public. I released the ranges to the public. I gave you guys this. And I even told you in yesterday's video, oftentimes that price level, not every time. I can assure you it won't be every time. But it's occasionally it will land directly on that price of interest for them to want to close above. Now, here's today's activity. This is the overnight range here, and you can get those ranges on the channel. You can get it right there on TikTok as well. It's just a little more organized on YouTube. But here's this morning's range. Okay, now here's this morning range, and I told you some of the biggest moves are going to happen away from these ranges. I told you that, and so I try to give the public something that they can utilize that's relatively close to what I do in, of course, my private training. Now, they're not going to always land on these price levels. They're not. They're not, but they're effective. And so please don't just grab the 7 bar trend. You're missing it. If you don't, I guess, incorporate the element of the time, if you don't take away this information here, this is what I want you to focus on. Again, this is the thing that I really want you to focus on. I'm glad you guys, again, like the other information that I provide. I see y'all really like that. And even here, I see y'all really, into that, but there's not many that came back to see what happened. So I'm hoping that you guys, of course, view this information and then, of course, look at the other 2 videos and say, yeah, it's important that we utilize that time. The time piece is how you get it to really, really reward you. And I mean, really, really give you what you want. And so by today, clearly they're above this price level today. I'm going to tell you this. Can they close above it? Can they close above here today? And if so, then yeah, you might see another big run tomorrow. All right. So I just wanted to give you that information. Hopefully, you find, of course, all the free information that I provide you of some use, but make sure you trade it as a whole. Take the ranges, put the ranges to it too, because oftentimes it won't be all the time. It won't. It just won't. But oftentimes the ranges will fall right on that price level for that day that they need to close above or beneath, whichever, if you're going down clearly. I know what's important, and I'm trying to give the public just a glance at what that is. Just a glance. Okay. So if you like the content, please don't miss out. Don't just watch the first video. If I make part 2 and part 3, watch that too, because it's going to bring a great deal of clarity to what it is that you want from your trading. Counting bars is okay. That's okay, but there's much more to just counting bars. I can teach you all kinds of counting techniques. The trend is just a simple aspect of just knowing how long you can be in that direction. That's all. But there's various different techniques that I know about counting bars. That's just one of them. So I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.